G'day guys, welcome to the mailbag review for Flemington Australian Cup Day. A little bit delayed because of the public holiday.
Yep. 10th of March, for all those that care. It was an interesting day of racing by all accounts with how the pattern played on the day. I think it kind of just made it a tough betting day if you weren't on the right horses, especially if you're one of the many punters who puts on a multi before the day started, I would say. Straight into race one.
Yeah, race one.
1,000-metre dash.
They've come down probably the worst part of the track.
Yeah.
In hindsight, so no real guide to people trying to adjust to the disgusting bias that we were presented with. I've backed Concealer.
It's been in the worst part. It's lost 2 plates, which to me is a massive, get on the next start. They just underrate them when that happens.
It's a sign of things to come, though.
Demonstrate's flown home. Conceal also had heat stress, I'm pretty sure. Demonstrate has done exactly what it said on its profile. It's got a genuine 800-metre, just solid sectionals.
But it's got a profile, too, that's not that good.
Of course, but
none
of these really do.
How's Craig going?
He's going okay.
I wonder if he rode it, I haven't checked. He might have rode it the last 3 times before Godolphin sold it, come back. It's no good. It's just not fast.
No, but here's the thing.
Then he's bought it. It's gone out and won, I think, 35k there at the Valley, and now 55k, plus the punt they would have had on it.
Unfortunately, his last ride on it was back here, about 5 starts prior.
Okay.
But they're so astute that...
They're not astute, mate. They're not astute. This thing's won 85 grand probably in 2 starts. They got 100 for it.
Yeah, they picked up a good horse for 100k and they've already nearly made it back.
Godolphin's not astute.
I know, I'm saying these guys have bought it because, in hindsight, when you look at it now, you'd want to be buying anything that was running around from that Godolphin yard for the past 6 months, right? Because they'll all improve.
We looked at this horse.
Yeah, I know.
100's too much for us. They've got a couple going through now, in a month.
Okay. Would be interesting to see them.
Already circled a few.
Our mate, Grand Duke of Tuscany, by all reports, is a new stable, by the way. Maybe down at the Bull, but not with the big stable. So it'll be interesting to see
I'm not...
where old mate goes going forward.
All right, anything out of this race?
I'd just say Nasdaq's, in the hindsight, was a false favourite. 4 starts down at Flemington. It's never placed. And it never looked like placing. The way it travelled, it
wasn't ridden correctly. The previous start.
It wasn't ridden correctly here, but
yeah, so
it was
not
still
a false favourite.
It was still very poor in the way it's run. I think it's clearly not handling the track like that. Some horses just don't handle the genuine straight. I wouldn't be running it here again if it was mine. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, okay.
And Felberg pulled up lame.
I think it's a pretty low race.
Yeah, it's hard to take form out of it going forward unless something stepping back from BM90 to BM84 or something.
Yeah. Race 2, 1,800 metres, I reckon it was. Yep.
Kingsall Dream.
I backed it, thank God.
Guess which one I backed? Horse that ran second.
Willy?
No, Ryder. It was ridiculous odds.
What, just to win?
I got $9 a place, so it was okay.
Well, that's better than backing the winner.
Yeah, I'm just upset that I've run into a really good one. I thought I've played that race absolutely perfectly with a horse that has won at course similar distance in this exact class last prep, and I'm getting $46 on Betfair. And it SP'd $10 that day.
I don't think anything was beating this horse.
I don't think so either.
I've not seen it look as good as it looked on Saturday. It improved again.
Cinder Win
doesn't run massive times, but it wins every race. So I'd be respecting it going forward.
I'd be saying it's never running massive times because it hasn't been asked that though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So its potential's unlimited.
Magic Console, okay order. Might be in for a nice prep again.
What do you think of Harrison?
Fat.
Yeah. The whole stable's brought him back in.
No, not all of them. Or
the first run.
Fatter than normal.
Okay. It's a tough race to take the stuff going forward. I would say Cinder Win has run better than I expected, considering it was in the quicksand.
Yeah, well, you didn't know that now.
Yeah.
It's just shit.
Willy's failed hard.
Yeah, I'd be scared of Rayada's SP moving forward if I was you.
I think that's... Let's just talk about that, because I think if it's a horse with the Weir stable or the Hayes stable, or even a Danny O'Brien, does it start $46? I don't think so. I think it's more... This is the Healy stable with Brian Higgins on board.
It starts $30.
Oh, it
doesn't start. Yeah, but still 20s is not a good SP.
I had it rated closer to the 10 to 15 mark on my...
You can't have had it rated at 10 to 15.
I had it in my top 4.
But if you have that 10 to 15...
I had it as my second pick in the race.
Well, what have you marked heaps harsh?
Cinder Win I marked really harshly. So I had that.
What?
I had it double figures. I had Harrison double figures. I had Will Leisure double figures. I had Willy shorter than it SP'd, and that was a failure. I had Kings Will Dream at $2. Picasso had it really long.
But that's almost the market. Well, Picasso you could get 2% out of. That's aggressive, Drew.
Extremely. But the times this horse had run in the past, it was legitimately able to run up to this grade.
You did have a good day.
Yeah, it's one of those races where I go, I think I've found one there against the market.
Well, I would never be marking a horse that's 41s, 10s. I'd be marking it 28s, and you still got a heap of percentage.
We'll get to
there.
Harlem. What did you mark that?
46s.
Really? It's run it before. It SP'd $4.60 first up against Galo Chop. It was $3.
Yeah, I got it wrong.
Yeah, but I mean,
but to mark it, there's only so much you can move a horse, or you got to be harsh on another horse. 46 was still short. Was still green for me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose on that horse, so I just green it up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like Royada, you just mark a 30s and you're green on it.
So I was taking on, as just going through these numbers, I was definitely taking on Will Leisure, which I would say was, what, $5 out to 8.
They backed it, didn't they, though?
Yeah.
Like, early.
Yeah, really early. And I was definitely taking that on. I was definitely taking on Harrison. You know what I said to you about Harrison. I think it's coming from 4,000 metres to 1,800.
Yeah, you nailed that, eh?
Yeah, but that's internationals. It's the one thing I actually do think I sometimes can nail.
Oh,
you know?
Fuck off. You're good, dude.
Yeah,
Don't let these little trolls get to you, big man.
Look, I probably overrated it, but I'm getting $9 a place, as you said, for a...
Yeah, like if we were doing our prices together, I'd fuck that $15 right off and turn it to 28s.
Yeah, that's why we do separate sheets, which is good.
Righto, race 3. And don't swear, we're not swearing anymore.
Did I?
No, I did.
Okay.
Race 3, 1,400 metres. Benchmark 84. Jesus, a few boys fell asleep here, didn't they?
The King's Command.
Have you done the times?
No, they still were not out for me, unfortunately.
They would have walked.
I can simply say that on the data out there, if you look at King's Command's late sectional data, I can tell you right now, you can look at punting form, you can look anywhere else. King's Command...
Why would you need to? Just go to puntingform.com.
Exactly. I'm more saying that it'll match up anywhere else. That King's Command is an elite horse late. And they were never going to catch it as soon as they let it just do what it did there. It was...
I didn't map it to lead on Saturday. I mapped it to lead on...
the previous
and you
start.
blew off about it. When it led on...
Hey, this is the first time it's ever led, by the way, in 23 starts.
Or it led almost at Sandown. See, that's a weaker race.
But how wrong was the tactics on Simply Invincible to say, we're going to sit back? And that's where they've said, that's where probably Benny Thompson and Corson have said, well, that's the natural leader that's not going to lead. Let's go ahead. Prima was never going to try and absolutely take them on. And, you know, you just look at who else can lead. The Iliad had issues, so...
Well, here's my prices. So I marked King's Command 950. It was like 11 in the morning, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like I had it green, but it's SP 830 on Betfair. So they backed it.
Yeah, I can't say that I...
This is the run of the day, though, and the horse to follow from the meeting is Tiamo Grace. It was not there to win, and it almost did.
Really? So this is one that I had thought, geez, I think the value... I was looking at value for this race, if I was going to be playing it. I looked at Prima.
Hang on, Drew, we've got a B on set.
Yeah. Fuck. You're not a B fan, mate.
I've been stung in the neck when I was back building.
Yeah. Blown up?
By a wasp, right in the jugular.
Ooh,
It was
yeah.
like old school, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's cool, man.
I mean, I can't say
Dart in your neck. Fucking dart in your.
I can't say I'm a fan of them.
Old school.
No. What?
If you're not a fan of old school, we have to reassess the whole structure of this business, man.
I do like a decent
It's one of
comedy.
the greatest movies of all time.
Uh,
Tiamo Grace
yeah,
is in for a
Tiamo
massive
Grace.
prep. No-show.
What do we do with it? It was poorly placed here, right?
No, well,
Like in terms
it's
of
at a
speed
big-
in the race.
A big track where you can normally run on.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not
No
pushing
show is
forward.
not suited by a concrete fast lane on the fence
Yeah.
of any racetrack because it likes to cover and it takes a sit.
It
The
definitely
horse has
wasn't
maybe
suited
got
by
one
that.
or two more runs in at this prep no show and it'll be winning
See,
if they can run on.
I'd be a bit careful. I think. Would you say it's near its top?
Rob was with me in for this mounting yard and he was all over no show.
Yeah, that's my problem. Is I've been seeing not by this stable, right, but with the Weir stable. So this is just something that I've been observing lately. A horse will be at its top, and then they'll get it over the top, and it'll still look really good, but it just won't perform the next start. I'm just concerned that may happen to No-Show.
No.
Okay.
No. So what?
You're good
No-Show-
at picking that, though.
No-Show's
is
got
what
one
I'd
to
say.
two left in it this prep.
Okay.
They don't get their horses as fit as other stables. We get some real,
Yeah.
but they just give them 3 weeks down the ball and they're back.
Okay.
They're fine.
They came late for our Sunday Prey. It was backed like 11s into 8s.
Yeah,
like
because it could
really
map
late.
on pace. Now
Yeah.
I've backed Portman here because I thought Ollie would get it to the right spot. I hoped. I was wrong. I was stupid to do that. It was a horrible bet and I felt sick about it.
Which I reckon that's where Ollie learnt for the day that was just a terrible spot
Nah,
to be.
I watched some replays. He already knew. He just didn't want to use up the horse. He couldn't.
Yeah.
The horse doesn't have enough tactical speed. But either would King's Command, in my opinion. Normally.
Yeah.
So who knows? But Tiamo Grace run the race. It'll make us some money going forward. Race number 4,
1400 metres,
Group
2.
2.
This is
This is when Ollie got it sorted, and we back separate each way. So it's a small collect. What did it pay to place? Like 340 or something.
it was a bit over 3s, yeah.
Not a single cent. I liked it. I was worried where it'd get to. I thought it'd get back buried and they'd all be on the fence and it wouldn't get through. But they peeled out and...
Yeah. See,
Did they peel out here?
Yeah, it came...
You used to talk about...
No, I
a
got the
couple of
run through,
horses.
I'm pretty sure.
No, but other horses peeled out and let it...
Yeah, 1 or 2, I think. I'm kind of annoyed at myself for this race because I actually originally had not a single cent on top.
What about old Nicholas Scoot Heathcote? Declared this winner to me on Friday. I think he was mid-bender too.
Oh, that's when you do your best work, isn't it? I mean, sometimes you just got to have a good bender.
I was on the golf course with Walshy.
Yeah.
Jonathan Walsh, he's a good bookmaker and great at finance.
Not golf?
Not the best golfer.
He's a mighty boss of golf.
Well, we teed off, and then he teed off again, and then he teed off again.
From the women's?
3 balls.
Surely he blamed it on the
Like
gout.
Miles, right?
Yeah.
We went and looked for him
Yeah.
because he's fiscal.
Yeah.
Went and looked for him, couldn't find him. We found one of them when we came back on the 9th.
It was on the opposite.
He cleared a river.
Well, at least he
Yeah,
can
so
hit a ball.
there's all these horses here getting off the fence.
Yeah. He's just got the run. Like, it's just come here, I'm pretty
Confusing though why you'd be there, but whatever.
sure. Yeah, I had it on top, and I had Seberate in my numbers. I thought Nassim was my top pick in the end, and it's just, look, that's bloody Nassim.
So what
there
did
in
you
the-
have on top?
I had Nassim on top in the end, and it's just got the bloody sandpit run. Never a chance.
Yeah,
I reckon it was a
Nassim
decent run.
Look at it, it's getting dropped here by that, whatever that is, a 7.
Yeah, Acadian.
Same line.
It was. See, I reckon you could go and win on that 3 wide line. It was when you got 4 and beyond.
I don't agree.
There was 2 or 3
I think
runners that made up ground on
Nassim
it.
was highly overrated in that. I marked it very harsh on my prices. I wasn't a fan of it at all. Thought it was a tinny win at Caulfield, and it really appreciated the ride that it got from Zara, who stood over it, who jumped off it and onto not a single cent.
Pulled the whole way there at Caulfield, though. I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
thought it would have massive
he
improvement
controlled
for
the
that.
horse and then got it to go. Who rode it here? Yeah, Regan.
Yeah. No,
It's hard to criticise Regan. He's just Group 1 winning 21-year-old, but I prefer Mark Zahra on my horse.
I wouldn't be jumping off it, depending where it goes, just because of that run.
Off it. I'm off. Race 5, 400 metres, Group 2, 3-year-old fillies.
Sure. Once again, this is kind of a zig when you zag type of race. Yeah, you could find Bella Martini. It's won well.
I back Siani, who was a fucking stupid bet, really. I'm convinced it's
the run of the race, though.
Yeah, it's run of the race, but that's just moral of my day.
Yeah.
I've stripped out just about pretty much. We had a couple of collects, but it's basically a strip for anyone who got Mango Mail, and we will back the run of the race in every race.
I like to counterplay here.
Wait till we get to the fucking Australian Cup. It's the most sickening.
Well, Newmarket as well.
Oh, it's just torture everywhere you look.
Anyway. I like counterplay here, and it was just held up the whole straight because what he was trying to do was he did the right thing. He was trying to get the runs on the inside, and nothing opened up. Would have it won? Probably not from where it was, but you know, it's just a forgive run. Shakora, I think I probably underrated in my numbers, so I was glad it got beat.
Yeah.
I had Bella Martini and Palazzo Vecchio in my top 4, with counterplay and one other that I don't know top of head. So I just had a money back on this race with Bella, but you know, I thought it was just getting, even the $6 it paid, I thought it was getting very short for it. But, yeah, but it's just given a brilliant
ride. It paraded
ride.
really well. It was probably in the numbers, was it?
Yeah.
It's just got run of the race. Yeah. And it's like this track was such a...
I mean, people are criticising D'Oliver. We didn't do too much wrong on Palazzo Vecchio. I mean, yeah, he was held up. He couldn't get a run late, but he was never winning.
It's not easy to get a run
Yeah.
when there's 2 lanes that horses can win the race from.
I agree on that.
Like, right now, we're 800 out. He's on the rail. Siani's on the rail. It's now pulling out 3 wide with cover behind Marzuna. And it's going to pull out into like a 6-7 wide line, which is the only other way Oliver could have gone.
Exactly.
And it would have won the race, I'm convinced. There's a fittest horse there. It's a really nice horse, probably 2 near its top. But it doesn't win. That's what Oliver would have been doing. This thing would have dropped it. It's bolting because it's on concrete and it hasn't done anything in the run. And then when you do that, you're going to need luck.
Look, it's got its run through here, and it's come up to the back of the winner. But he's tried to go for the run, and, you know, I don't think the horse...
I think it's a good ride.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't on it, though. But
there's not much more you can do.
I think it's a good ride.
Summer Sham, pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
And even True Excelsior, considering what it did the previous start.
Yeah, agreed. I'd stick with True Excelsior. I think Summer Sham might be spent for the prep, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, not much.
It's a hard horse to read. It's quite a muscly little thing.
Okay.
Muscly, medium-sized thing. Race 6, Drew. 1,200 metres, Newmarket Lexus. Let's try and keep this short and sweet.
Sensational
I'll tell you what I think. The outside was nowhere near as big a disadvantage as everyone is making out. At all. It was a great ride, and he won the race in the first 600 metres when he dropped everyone, and people on the inside were asleep.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching it live trying to in-play trade, which actually went really well on Saturday.
Did you have the split screen on
the
screen?
run.
Did you have split screen on course?
No, why would you?
They sometimes do it.
Yeah,
but I'm at home sitting there. I'm sitting there going, well, the caller's telling me nothing because he doesn't know. And I'm just like, so at the 600, they've got the little line that comes across the screen at 600. They don't
have that at the track.
I backed Redkirk in play because at the 600, you could see the line that goes across the screen. He's fucking 3 lengths ahead. Sorry, I did swear. There we go. He's 3 lengths ahead.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, this is the best horse in the race. You just got to get on it.
Yeah. So my theory is, yes, the inside rail is the place to be, 100%. The outside rail is never that bad, and the inside rail is only 400 metres of this race. The rest of it's just a big straight.
Yeah.
So it's overplayed that the inside's an advantage in this straight race.
Would you say this is? I think it was the ride that's won it, not the and I wouldn't be disagreeing with you that it wasn't a massive disadvantage. I'd be saying if they all went down the one lane though,
it's cool because he'd end up in the shit part.
Yeah, I'd also say the others would probably not be 3 lengths off him, so they'd probably have the chance to catch him.
This is the biggest problem with this track is there's a bunch of horses here. Imagine if our horse gets to this race. and we drew the middle.
You'd hate it.
We're cast.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's not fair.
You'd
It's not good enough.
You'd be going out and walking the track 5 times the day before and the day of to try and figure it out what the hell's going on. And even then, you'd probably be guessing because half these jockeys don't know.
Yeah, but it's just... and I'm not criticising the new guys doing it. It's been the worst job in Australia.
No, I wouldn't want to consider. I doubt they get paid, millions.
It's a hard job. I think that the rail should just be moved into 2 spots.
It's a tough one to, concrete.
But I don't
it
have
in.
as much of an opinion as anyone else, or that much of a care. Just hope that there's never... This sort of day doesn't happen too often, and I don't care that it happened on a big day, really, because I bet there.
I mean, you
every
miss a lot
Saturday.
of stuff being on track from like Peter Moody's pretty
that was good.
For the car. So I'm sure he's got snippets on Twitter, but his opinion on it was extremely good. Saying, look, this has happened 2 years in a row. Why wasn't it addressed? The last time with the rail movements, you either just keep it in the true, and people can come off the rail if it's not working. That's what they do in UK.
Mm.
You see them, going down the middle of, they come in from the 600 and go down the middle because it's the best ground.
It's a debate for people who are more experienced and educated than I am in this.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Lord of the Sky has pulled up with issues and he's off to stud, old mate.
How much do you have on him?
0.
Bullshit.
100% had 0 on him.
Bullshit.
There was no chance he was winning that race.
He's lying to you guys.
100%. I wouldn't lie to you.
I bet Ken's Dream. I had a bit on Ken's Dream.
Yeah, I chopped on him. I thought
I had a little bit on Booker, and I had a good bet at Merchant Navy, who could have won.
Yeah, I couldn't let Merchant Navy go.
Bro
around
Smash
with that.
is just a freak of a horse, isn't it?
Yeah, I have a feeling I went around as
Get down.
Brave Smash being a loss in my book, so I thought I was done on the line. I'm not going to lie. It actually, and
I
that's the
thought
other
Bro
thing.
Smash got on the line.
That's the other thing. Premier track in Victoria. Camera's not on the line. Like they do have a second vision, but you see it go across the line and it clearly looks like Redkirk's been done because of the camera angle. Surely you'd have the camera on the line.
No, I don't care. I think it was good. I think the day was good. I think the track manager's doing a good job. He's been there for a week.
It's hard to criticise someone who's been in the job for a week,
rail.
isn't it?
It's just the rail.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Redkirk, tough win with 57.5 kilos.
It's a massive win.
Yeah.
Did it all by itself. That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Great win. Better ride.
Off to Ascot, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's up to you. Can have a better one over there then.
It'll be suited, I can tell you.
Race 7, Sweep of Essence Trophy, Group 3, 3-year-olds and up, fillies and mares.
I think this
So
is...
the form out of the Spanish Reef race leading up to this didn't stand up at Bendigo, which I mentioned on the previous show. We got $6 about a horse that ran second to it at Bendigo.
Yeah.
At a low meeting at Bendigo, shit itself. And then Spanish Reef comes out here at $2.50, backed off the map,
Smashed in, absolutely smashed.
and wins with ease.
Savamore
Savamore
bit
ready.
unlucky.
Nah, Savamore ready to win. You've got to be very careful making any big statements out of this meeting, or getting too confident in any races coming out of this meeting, because it's extremely tricky.
Imagine if, let's say, the lifeblood of the industry, the $10 punter, right? Let's be honest and say the amount of people around, you go from the pyramid down, the $10 punter guy's the bulk of it at the bottom, yeah? He's the lifeblood of the industry because he's betting on greyhounds, he's betting on harness, he's betting on everything. Let's say
the victim punter.
Of course, let's say he's had his multi at the start of the day and he's decided to chuck Mar Jones or Shillelagh in his multi. He's done his cash before it's even been run.
Shillelagh.
He's done his cash before it's even been done.
Yeah, it's racing.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
It's an outdoor sport. The track's not gonna.
I know.
It's not. You're not racing. It's not hard court like tennis.
You're right.
match.
It is an outdoor sport. So why are we watering it to the extent we are? Do you reckon it started a good fall, like they said?
I think people want more water. I think that's what people who.
The Japanese have no issue racing on a firm track.
People who have louder opinions about this bias, I think they want it watered, but I don't really rate it. So
I think the people who are talking about the bias, at least from what I've heard from the past, is the firmer the better for a punter, and the more you water a track, the more bias you get. And what's happened is we put in really strong drying tracks for the fact that it increases turnover, because punters bet more on a good 3 track than a soft 5, as an example. Those are the stats. So what they're saying is if you get a track that dries out, you're going to get more turnover on it. But because we've made them too good at drying out, you're then having to put 40 mils on, and then you get uneven surfaces. And then you also keep the grass longer and, because it's a warm day. It's all circumstances that have been lead to it.
Righto, Australian Cup, 2,000 metres, Group 1. Oh, this is wait for age. I cannot believe the criticism that Damien Oliver has copped for his ride on Al Mandan.
Couldn't have done anything better.
Had every possible... It had a horse in a Group 1 sacrificing itself for it.
For it, exactly.
It had team riding, which is okay. Play on.
Yeah.
The more cash you got, the better you go, like 100% in this game. Team riding, it sucks runs up the fence and runs into horses that are dropping back because it's stablemate deliberately put on a suicide tempo.
Yeah.
Shock.
Yeah.
And the only other thing Damien could have done is what Kathy fucking did, is try and go around the whole field. Well, the Taj Mahal or the other one pushed Kathy even wider.
Homesman, yeah.
Homesman. Then Kathy's found again, which I backed single gaze, which I'll never do in my life ever. The first time I ever backed single gaze.
It's ran a blinder. It's
fucking run of the race. It should have placed. I backed it each way. I feel sick about it.
Do you know who was run of the race? Harlem.
No, it wasn't. It smoked the pie.
That was such a
single
good ride.
gaze is run of the race. It's missed the start. I don't know why.
Yeah.
She's got the whip out in the first 50 metres.
Yeah. And obviously, they went pretty hard early.
No, it just wasn't right at the start, so I don't know what happened.
I mean, Homesman's missed it as well. And
the way it's let down the outside in the shit part of the track is quite impressive. And I've never seen the horse look better, so I don't know if that means it's going to win the next race it goes to, or it's over the top now. But
I've already touched on it and don't like to brag or anything, but massive fill-up race. Harlem, just ridiculous odds. Perfect ride. As soon as he pushed it out from the inside barrier sat the pipe, I've backed it. There was $30 in play.
I backed it in play, yeah.
Seriously, it was just ridiculous odds.
Well, by this stage of the day, like even 3 races ago, we were just looking for horses on the fence.
Yeah.
Like box seat, next one after that.
The horse to follow forward, just basically because I think I know this horse fairly well. I think Homesman, considering it missed the start, and I don't think it was suited having to come from so far back, I thought it was a really good run. So if it can be on speed next start it's probably going up to a 2,400 metre race in Sydney or something like that. I think it'll give a really good show, and they normally let those run around up there at 8s to 10s. So
I'd follow Devise. Didn't parade well.
It's had some real issues in run, so
Hartnell, I don't think I'm happy to pen it now.
It wasn't suited. It's
in a hard run race.
Yeah, that's what it.
Supply and Demand and Hartnell, the only two I really want to pen. Every other horse, I think.
What do you think of Ventura Storm? I thought it was a massive run at a. It's not suited by 2,000.
It's suited by the run.
Definitely, but I still
when you're reviewing the race, it's suited.
I still wouldn't have thought it would have got that close, considering it's looking for 3,200.
Harlem suited, XXXX. Ventura Storm suited, XX. Single Gaze not suited. Homesman borderline.
Supply and Demand.
Ambitious, not suited. Oh, Supply and Demand did a semi fucking Lavendi, who's been back to beat Cliff's Edge at fucking in the. Let's just go away.
This is a hindsight just for the people who.
How can a horse lose by 40 lengths and start again in 2 weeks?
And someone's backed it.
Yeah, I wonder who.
I know.
PG.
On Galo Chop, right? This is
Pistol Pete.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Who else would be stupid enough to put money on that horse?
Probably owners.
Oh, you want to know something pretty good?
Yeah.
It's just going to turn around. It's going to turn around 37 lengths.
They may just know that it's going to be backed and they can at least hedge a bit out. Galo Chop. It's come from a race where it's just been able to control the speed to a race where when you see Supply and Demand on there, it was always going to be a pest, and with the 2 Williams runners, there was the potential that this was going to happen. It still ran a bloody brilliant race and just got, beaten by a horse that's had a better run than it.
Yeah, all right. Race 9.
1,100 metres.
I've got this.
They've backed this thing late.
This horse is...
You could see it as well.
This is the only horse to follow out of this race. It's a serious horse.
Yeah.
Well, for the rest of this prep. Twilight Song's flying, but it's first prep. Probably had enough. Freeze over. I tried to get some value out of the race and backed it each way hard.
Yep.
Lightweight, no weight, leads, gets over onto the concrete fence and kicks away. Gives us a kick, might win, certainly places.
Yeah.
Nah, it runs fourth.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this race.
The runner I want to I think it'll go back in class from here. I think Real Reward is just in that lane that I think you can just forgive the run, but it still ran well considering where it's finished next against the horses from second to sixth. And it's run home better than, Pretty Fast and Prezzazo.
It's been beaten 4.5 lengths and SP $51.
Yeah, but it'll go back to what's this? This was
This wasn't a good race.
It's a handicap race, so it's a stakes race. It'll go back to, BM class at Pakenham or something, I'm pretty sure. I think
an SP $4 or something. I wouldn't want to touch it.
I think it's run a really good race, and that stable goes well at those tracks.
Streets of Avalon was disappointing.
Massively. There has to be something wrong. They haven't reported anything, but to run that poorly.
All right, horse to follow, Drew. This will be under part 1, and we'll come back with your questions.
Sure.
Mine's Tiamo Grace.
I'm going to say Homesman.
Done. See you guys.
Cheers.